Hello, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Pastor Vincent Ezemonye, and I'm the pastor of the Place of Destiny, Port Harcourt, Nigeria, in West Africa. All right, for some time now, we've been having this move of the Spirit in the house, and people have been having a lot of divine encounters, unique Holy Ghost experiences, and we felt that it's important we share these experiences because we know that some other persons can be motivated, can be activated as you listen. Anything could just happen, so that you can also know that God is moving in our midst and is looking for ordinary people to use. As many as will yield themselves to Him, He will use them. Yeah. All right, and right now I have a series of persons, but I'm going to start with Pastor Blessing Mwachuko. That's her name. She's Pastor Blessing. Can you say hello? Hello. All right. So I'm going to start with her. She's a pastor with the Place of Destiny, Port Harcourt, Nigeria, also. And so, Pastor Blessing, let's start with you, and let's see what has your journey been, and where are you today? When did these experiences start with you, and what have been the experiences? And just share with us.
Okay. Let me say that this journey began like 4 or 5 years back.
Okay, louder, please.
The journey began like 4 or 5 years back.
Okay.
That was when I came for a meeting, a worship. I think it was a worship meeting.
All right.
And then that meeting was actually different from what I've seen over the years. The move of the Lord was so strong in the house. Like when I came back, I was so excited. I came alone for that meeting. My husband didn't come with me.
Okay.
But I was so excited that when I got home, I just shared with him what I saw. And then he was looking forward to also come to church to see what was happening. And then let's fast forward to 4 years later, which is today and now.
Okay.
Let me start with.
So the journey is a 4-year journey now.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, let me begin with the just completed program we had in church, the intimacy.
Intimacy. That's just 2 days ago.
Yes.
All right.
When
no, that's yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, just yesterday.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Intimacy is our prayer and fasting program. 3 days every month. We have prayer and fasting every month for 3 days. All right.
Okay, when I got the realization that intimacy was going to hold,
okay,
like a human being that I am, I was kind of down about it because we just concluded Evolve, and I was like, where would the energy come from?
Evolve was a 3-day meeting.
Yes,
also.
yes.
A 2-day. Is it 2-day or 3-day?
3-day,
4-session meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Annual event. All right.
So in my mind, I was like, I just hope this intimacy will be shifted to like next month.
You were tired, exhausted.
Yes.
Okay.
But after Evolve, we announced a 7-day praying in tongue challenge.
Yes. And 7-day praying in tongue. Okay. Yes, I remember
then
that.
On the second day, something spectacular happened in my life. When I started worshiping, at first I didn't really feel what I was doing, but I just had to, I just had to continue with it. I started worshiping and suddenly I saw myself crying. I was all alone in the house. This kind of experience, I usually have it in service. But that was more like the first time I could remember I was having such kind of experience alone.
Okay.
I noticed that I was crying, and I know that over and over you've told me that I have those gifts of interpretation of tongue.
Okay.
And then after Evolve, I had to download messages on interpretation of tongue to see what it's like, and I started listening to them. And then that evening, in the midst of worship, it was not yet 30 minutes to the end of, because you said we should worship for 30 minutes and speak in tongues for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I had to set my alarm for 30 minutes of worship and 30 minutes of speaking in tongues.
Okay.
And I noticed that the alarm had not even rang, and I noticed that I was speaking in tongues and I was speaking in human language, like I was trying to interpret what I was saying.
All right. So you speak in tongues and then you interpret.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. And so while I was doing that, I just noticed that I was crying, and God was telling me things about my life and things about the ministry, and I really didn't understand what was happening. But when I came to church on Wednesday, you said a word, you gave a word of knowledge. You said that someone was in the house, that God is giving the person a new womb, and that the spirit of intersection will come upon the person. Okay. As soon as you said that word, I knew that word was for me, so I had to focus, because I was busy trying to catch those.
Yeah.
So
you're among the catchers.
Yes. So at that point, I knew I needed to focus. So I had to focus to get whatever it is that the Lord had for me in that meeting.
All right.
So when the Spirit of the Lord came on me, I couldn't control myself anymore. I went on the ground, and God was speaking to me. He said that He has given me the burdens of people on my shoulder.
Mm.
And then I felt this weight on my shoulder. And then I was just crying. And in my mind, I was saying, how am I going to cope with this? How do I do this? I feel that this burden is too much for me to carry.
Mm.
And then that particular night, I had a dream. I know that God speaks to me through dreams most times.
Wow.
I had a dream. I saw a couple in church. And in that dream, they were having a fight. And then suddenly I woke up. When I woke up, I checked the time, it was 4 a.m. And that was not my normal time of waking up. I just had a leading in my spirit to go to the sitting room where I used to pray. And then as I opened my mouth to pray, I just started crying. And then I started speaking in tongues. All I could hear myself say was, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. I was just praying for the couple I saw in my dream, that Lord should have mercy on them and redirect their steps, because I felt in my spirit that they were making the wrong decision and God was not happy with them. So I was crying and then I was praying for them. And then different pictures of people began to come in my mind, like different persons. I saw a girl in the school here.
So that means the grace for the intercession that was spoken
Yes.
over you by a word of knowledge
Yes. Yes.
kicked in immediately.
Yes. I saw
Alright.
I saw a little girl in school here. That girl, her hands are not equal.
All right.
And then suddenly I saw her, and then I was praying, and then I heard in my spirit, wait for her at the gates tomorrow morning and shake her hands. So when I so many things, I was just seeing different persons. I
Yeah.
saw my family members. I started praying for their salvation and all that.
So all of that came into
Yes,
play
and that
immediately.
was happening by 4 a.m. in the morning. So I prayed till around past 5, and then that was when I stopped praying. And then when we came to church on Thursday during the worship, God also told me and said that the healing of that girl is a gradual process. That
Okay.
it's going to be like in phases.
So it also means that the voice of God also became clearer to you.
Yes.
You
yes,
began to hear
Yes.
the voice of God
Yes.
clearer than
yes,
ever before.
Yes, yes.
You know, so those are part of the fruits of the encounter.
Exactly.
The voice of God became clear,
Yes.
and then the now talk about the spirit of intercession that came upon you by word of knowledge. Now, did it make praying for people easier?
Yes. In fact, most times before then, when I try praying for people, I end up praying for myself.
Okay.
Because to me, I'll be like, I have a lot of burdens. I have a lot of things to pray
Yeah.
about for me, for my family. But in the past few days, I forget about the issues I have personally in my life, and I start praying for people. And then when I want to pray, God starts bringing pictures of people in my mind that I should pray for. And God started reminding me of people who have come to me, not just for counseling. The Lord was telling me that I actually sent those people to you because I want you to pray for them. Not just because I want them to tell you about their problem, but
Yeah.
because I want. So it got to my knowing that lots of persons who come to me to tell me about their problems, maybe marital issues or what they are experiencing in their homes, it's because God was directing their steps for me to stand in the gap and then pray for them and intercede for them. So that is the recent experience, and I'm so glad about that. I know that it's not going to be easy
All right.
to pray for people like that,
Okay.
knowing fully well that you have your own issues. But I just feel that for God to have given me that grace, He knows that I have the capacity to carry it
Yeah.
and that I can do what He wants me to do.
Okay.
Then aside from this recent months, over time in service, especially in our Sunday services, when we gather to worship, I usually experience that in the midst of worship. When the worship has gotten to that intensity, that high intensity, you taught us about entering into the Holy of Holies. You have to go through different kind
Yeah.
of courts, the outer court, the inner court, and then the Holy of Holies. I discovered that when we get into that intensity, I could see it comes like a picture in the mind. Like the first time I had that experience, it came like a picture. I felt like I saw an angel in my mind.
Okay.
And then suddenly I could see two angels at the two different edges in church.
Okay.
And then the second time I saw angels, they were standing at your back,
Okay.
and then at your wife's back as well. And then the next time I saw them, they had doubled. And then God spoke to me. He said that He's doubling the angels that He has assigned to you. The first one, they were just one different angels, and the second time they were two.
Okay.
And I think after that, I've not seen angels again. That was just the 2 occasions. I mean, 3 occasions I've seen angels.
All right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So God has taken you on a different journey, and I want to believe God that He will give you the grace to also keep pressing in, because there is more. There's always more. Thank you so much
Thank you, sir.
for your time.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you.
Bless